Yo. What up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Okay, I have some very, very interesting and exciting news to share with you today. And this is going to be cool. This is going to be very, very cool. So let's see who we have joining us today. We have the big Chris Napa. What's going on, my friend? What's going on? We have Michael Dean says, let's go. Chris is tuning in live from New Jersey. Awesome. We've got Linda. Hello, Quebec. What's happening, Linda? How are you? Thanks for tuning in today. Great to see you here. We've got Dawn says it worked. Awesome. Right around someplace around this broadcast, you should see a line that says something like click here to approve StreamYard. And once you do that, then your picture gets to come up and we can showcase you because I always say 80% of success is showing up, guys. Showing up. Okay. Let's see who we got. We got Fernando. Atlanta is in the house. Awesome. Awesome. We've got Pierre tuning in live. Awesome. Don's tuning in live. And Pierre says, hi, Darren. Awesome. Cool. Okay, guys. So what I did, just so that you know, is that I did a survey because I wanted to see, you know, where are the areas that people are really struggling? What are the biggest challenges that are going on right now in the home-based business industry? And I believe that if you really want to, you know, go 10x and leapfrog your income and get, you know, to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures or higher, you really have to keep your pulse on the marketplace. Okay. It's not about whatever you think that you're marketing. Okay. And this is the thing that people really don't kind of get about our industry. It's really about understanding what's going on in the industry and then being able to help the people. Okay. We're really in a problem solving business model versus a features and benefits pitching and convincing business model, which is where most people come from in corporate America. And it's a challenge for people to make the crossover because it just doesn't make any sense to them. They've never been properly trained on how to actually do this business model. Okay. And it's kind of like apples and oranges. And in the event that you're in an industry and you're not even actually doing the industry, then it's pretty hard to make money in the industry, if that makes sense. So we've got Chrissy tuning in live. We've got a Facebook user from, I think that's Philadelphia. I don't know if what's the Phils? What's the Phils? Tell me what the Phils is. Is that Philadelphia? Anyway, okay, guys. So here is the interesting data that came back. And what I want for you to do is before I tell you, right, before I tell you the results, what I want for you to do right now is I want for you to think of your top 5 biggest challenges that you may be going through with your particular business. What are the challenges that you're going through, right? So, you know, obviously in any business, you know, you need leads, right? You need to recruit reps if you're building a team. Typically, if you're going for higher ticket packages or, you know, especially if you're with a high ticket company, you know, they always want you to get the highest ticket so that you can make the most amount of money. Okay. So there would be closing and upselling. There would be, you know, team duplication. There would be stepping into leadership. There would be, you know, mastering your emotional state, right? So think about some of the things that you might be going through right now. Selling products, right? What are the things that you're going through right now in your particular business? And I want you to take out a piece of paper and write out the top 5 things that your business, as the CEO, right? Because you're the CEO of your business, and everybody's going to have a different answer here, right? Because everybody's got different businesses. And it's important for you to also understand this, okay? So in other words, you may be going through some type of struggles or pains, but it doesn't mean that every single CEO of every single company is going through the same struggles that you are, okay? Some people start off in the industry, maybe they have different types of skills already, right? Other people don't have those type of skills, right? So think about your particular business, right, with whatever it is that you're marketing, and write them out on a piece of paper. Okay, write them out. Number 1, the biggest challenge. Okay, number 2, the second biggest. Number 3, the third biggest challenge. Number 4, the fourth biggest, and number 5. Write them out. Now, if you're going through your own business, you would probably be able to wrap those off pretty darn fast, right? Maybe you don't have a budget. Who knows, for whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you've never been trained at all. Maybe you don't have a mentor, So what do you believe are the biggest challenges that you're going through as the CEO of your particular corporation? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to work that out and write those out on a piece of paper. And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare your list to the survey to see what the answers came back from a larger group of people that have been surveyed, so that you can start to compare what's going on in the industry. I think this will really, really help you a lot with what you've got going on. So what do we got here? We have Angeline live from New York. What's going on? We've got Jeff Niquette tuning in. Okay, so what we're doing, guys, is we're listing out the 5 biggest challenges that you're currently going through in your business. Okay, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the results. They were actually a little shocking, to be quite honest. I'm just telling you honestly. I was surprised. I was surprised that some of the things that were down lower didn't come up higher, right? I thought actually that they would be, a little bit different than they turned out to be, but it's the market that will tell us what the answers are. Okay, my biggest challenge is going through my friends list and knowing who and when to delete. There's actually tools for that, Melody. Reach out to me and I'll steer you in the right direction for that. It's super easy. You can tell exactly who's engaging with your post just from the software. Adriana, how are you? Okay, so hopefully you've got a pen out, you've got a piece of paper out, and you've written out the 5 biggest challenges that you're personally going through right now as the CEO of your particular business, okay? And there's no right answer or wrong answer, okay? It's whatever's actually happening right now in your reality. So just write out those 5 things, and then I'm going to tell you what were the results of the survey, okay? Okay. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, guys, so here is very, very interesting. I'm going to tell you what the top 5 struggles are right now in the industry. Okay, are you ready for this? Number one is recruiting. Okay, recruiting came out as the number 1 biggest challenge that people are going through with their particular home-based business in a team-building business model. Okay, so the number 1 surveyed answer was recruiting. Okay, Now, the number 2 surveyed answer was bing, closing and upselling. Okay, closing and upselling was the number 2 answer for the biggest struggle that people are going through right now in their home-based business. Okay, now number 3, and this one actually kind of shocked me that it ranked the number 3 one, and it was actually mastering their emotional state. Okay, and I thought that, like lead generation would have been higher or something, but it was actually number 3 was mastering their emotional state. And that is something that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, it's mandatory that you can master your emotional state. Okay, because you're going to have peaks and valleys in your business, and you will be in situations, as an example, like you might be talking to somebody that's very, very successful in your particular business, okay, or your business model, and they've been looking at your company and they say, you know what, this is really hot. They're going to get involved, and they're getting you all excited, right? Because they got a huge network of people, and they're going to come on board, and they're giving you the A-OK, they're going to come on board. And then the last minute, something changes and they decide they're going to go with another company. Okay. Now, in the event that you don't master your emotional state, you can go from way up here and have a massive crash, and that drop there can take people out. Okay, truth be known, can take them out for a couple weeks, a couple of months, or it can be in the position where they're just flatline. Okay, and we talked about this a couple broadcasts ago about the yin and the yang, and it's very important that you get that to be able to get back to the equilibrium line. Okay, so the third one was mastering the emotional state. Okay, now what came in at number 4 was bing, team duplication. Okay, team duplication came in at number 4. Okay, now number 5. Okay, number 5. Keep in mind, these are the top 5 biggest challenges that. Now I'm just telling you what the market told me, so I'm sharing this with you right now. But the 5th one is stepping into leadership. Okay, stepping into leadership. Now, shockingly, guys, I thought that, quite frankly, that lead generation would have been in the top 5. Okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Right, which quite frankly, it blew me away. But I'm just sharing with you the data that has come back to me from the marketplace so that you can look at your own data, right? Some of the things that you might be going through right now and struggling with. Okay, so what do we got here? Melody says, all right, I'm ready. Time constraints, narrowing down my perfect business partners, doing lives, getting over it, getting an audience, and I think you're still thinking, recruiting. Okay, there you go, Adriana. Rob Fraser, yo, what's up? How you doing? We've got Miriam is in the house. How are you? Good to see you here. We've got Ashley says, mastering your emotional state should be first. Well, that's probably because you're going through a little bit of a challenge right now in that area. So it's on the top of your list right now, right? So, but keep in mind, guys, everybody's going to have a different top 5. Okay. And this is the important thing to understand, is that every CEO, right? Any person that is in the home-based business industry is the CEO of their own business. So they're going to have a different set of top 5 challenges, right? You know, like here's an example. Like when I first got started with online marketing, I'll tell you what my biggest challenge was. I didn't know how to use a computer. I never used a computer before. Zero tech skills, okay? Zero. And I didn't know how to type, and I didn't know how to use a computer. Okay, so for me, that was my number one biggest challenge when it came to online marketing, was that I'd never used a computer ever before. So, but keep in mind now, as you do more work, as you do more training, your numbers are going to change, right? Your numbers are going to change. You know, like you may learn some new skills, and recruiting is no longer your number one challenge, right? Maybe team duplication goes up to the top, or stepping into leadership goes up to the top. Do you see what I mean? So as you do more training, as you learn more skills, the numbers are going to change around. They're not always going to be the exact same in your particular top 5. And this is the important thing to understand. Okay, the yin and the yang is real. So important to master those emotions for sure, says Chrissy. Very good point. Very good point. John Winkleman tuning in live. Awesome. Great to see you, John. Great to see you back. Pam Phillips, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you here today. Fernando says closing people. Okay, closing people. You've caught me 3 times now, almost ready to take action. Well, I'm telling you, Ashley, your life will change forever if you've been following any of the student testimonials and the rags to riches stories. I can guarantee you that your life will change forever. Okay. You know, it's very, very interesting, guys, because I put out a post today inside Quantum Millionaire, right? I can't remember the gentleman's name that chimed in there, but he was like, you know, he said something like, you know, the problem with the industry is, you know, the gurus focusing on rags to riches, and I'm definitely no guru. I mean, you know, there's people in our industry that have done, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, $100 million in sales, and have built organizations. I mean, I have a friend of mine who's probably got 350,000 people in his organization. He's probably made $25 million in the industry, maybe even more than that. Maybe he could be up to $30 million now. You know, he's an industry guru, in my opinion, right? You know, he's phenomenal at what he does. He was actually one of my original millionaire mentors. His name is David Moses. And, you know, there's another like Robert Hollis. He's probably done $55 million in sales in the industry. You know, look at Ray Higdon. He's probably done, you know, $30 million or maybe even more than that. You know, if you look at, I'm just trying to think of another one. Another friend of mine has like close to 300,000 people in his organization. Like those guys, I mean, those guys are some serious contenders in our industry, right? Fernando says, believing, zero tech skills. Well, you're like me, my friend. You're like me, but trust me. Here's the thing, guys. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. Is that you don't need big tech skills, because everything technical can be outsourced. But the one thing that you do have to get good at, okay, one single thing, people, okay, people. And the interesting thing about even online marketing is that if you're doing it, even with paid ads, right? Like people think if you just run paid ads that you're just going to have this, you know, money machine going like crazy. And the truth is once you get to a price point where you're, you know, over $1,000, right? The majority of people are going to want to talk to somebody. Okay. The majority of people are going to want to talk to another human being to know that they're on the right path, and they want to find out who's their leader, who's their sponsor, who are they going to be working with, who's going to teach and train them on the ins and outs of the industry, because it's not the same as corporate America. And that's the biggest challenge. That's why the failure rate is so high, is that people try to bridge corporate America over across into a leadership business model, and they're not remotely the same, guys. They're literally like apples and oranges. But truth be known, if you really get good at people and understanding people and the different personality types of people, right? There's visual people, they talk really fast. There's auditory people, they're toned down a little bit more. There's kinesthetic people, they're more kicked back and laid back. They talk a little bit slower. And you got to be the chameleon to be able to be the mirror, or, you know, morph almost into your prospect, right? In order to really get good at really understanding how this industry is really done. So don't worry about not having a lot of tech skills there, Fernando. Trust me, you can still make it. I seen you bussing a move in the day. probably at an event or something like that, Darius. I don't know where you actually had seen it, but typically what happens when you go to these events and you come into the room and there's like, you know, the music's playing, they got these big speakers and stuff, and the music's playing and everybody's got this vibrating energy. Sometimes when I come in there, because I used to teach street dancing, right, back in the day. So I come in there and it's just like, bam, right? Now, boom, the energy just goes right through me and I get all excited and I bust a move. So you probably saw me at an event. Elizabeth tuning in from Australia. How are you, Elizabeth? Great to see you here. Melanie's tuning in from Reno. Awesome. Great to have you here. Linda, the sense of belonging is no longer. Okay. I'm not really too sure what that means, but you know, that's the whole thing really truly about being part of a team, right? And a lot of you gotta really know, this is an important thing that a lot of people don't talk about, is people get involved with a home-based business for a variety of different reasons, guys. Okay, it's very important that you understand that, is that not everybody's money driven. Not everybody's money driven, right? Like a lot of people want to be part of the culture. A lot of people want to feel like they're part of something. A lot of people get involved with the business because they want to have fun. Like the events are really super important to them, right? So money's not the only driver. And you got to know that there's different types of personality types on different reasons why they actually get involved in the industry in the first place, right? Melody says that does make sense. Awesome. I'm tech savvy. I feel that that's why it feels complicated, but it isn't. And it's actually not, right? Now, here's the thing to consider, is that people were making millions of dollars in our industry prior to the internet. Okay, so keep this in mind, is that when people just had one of these, they were still making, you know, millions and millions of dollars in our industry. So, you know, the internet in a lot of ways has sped up the process, and at the same time it's hindered the process, because people have sort of lost the whole concept of relationships, guys, of relationships. Okay, and that's very, very important. They're so not the same. Get out of the employee mindset. Personal development is vital. You are correct with that one. It was the Empower Network event you were at. Oh, okay. Chris, were you at that event? I'm not too sure. Okay, it looked like an event you was jamming out. I think that was in Chicago, actually. Yeah. Okay. Melanie says it's about freedom. And you know what? Truth be known, everybody has a different definition of freedom. That's important to know as well. Darlene Eaton, what's going on, girl? What's happening? Angeline says, I love live events. Live events actually truly are where the relationships happen. That's where the connections happen, right? So if you're, most big companies, they typically do quarterly events, like the real big ones, right? And I can tell you just from my own experience is that the breakthroughs happen at the live events, guys, truth be known, because what it does is it takes your belief level to right to the ultimate high, right? Because you can see these other just average everyday people that have completely transformed their reality by just plugging into a system. And this is the biggest problem by far, is that people try and reinvent the wheel. And whatever systems that your company has in place, you should stick to just plugging your people into the systems. And that's where the biggest duplication will happen for you. What do you think about the color personalities? There's different charts and different systems of that. That's definitely good and something that you can study and research. I knew I hopped on for a reason. Okay, there you go. Money is made on the phone call or meeting. Yes, you are correct. You're absolutely correct. I've been following you for years, and I always find huge value from your content. Thank you. Actually, this is the tip of the iceberg. Trust me, it happens in the Millionaire Mentoring on the inside, right? So this is just a little appetizer. Okay, guys. So it's important that you hopefully you jotted these down. Okay, hopefully you jotted these down, because this is the industry that's telling me and you, right, what their biggest challenges are. Okay, so recruiting reps is number one, closing and upselling is number two, mastering the emotional state is number three, team duplication is number four, and stepping into leadership is number five. Okay, now guys, if you've been following my content, if you've been following my stuff on social media or through Quantum Millionaire or on my YouTube channel or my fan page, you'll probably have seen that I teach a strategy that actually takes people through to learn these things so that they can actually rise up to the top and be on the top 10 of their leaderboard in whatever company that they're marketing. It doesn't matter what you're marketing, but once you learn the skills, you can rise to the top to be in the top 10 on the leaderboard, even if you're a brand new newbie. Okay, so you don't have to be an industry expert. You don't have to already have experience in the industry, but most people do it backwards, and then they join a company and then they try to figure out these skills, right? So what I do is I show people how to master the skills so that they can become top recruiters, right? So that they can actually know what to do to close and upsell, to go up to higher ticket products, so that they can master their emotional state through their thoughts, words, and emotions, so that they can get team duplication by plugging people into systems, and so that they can truly know what to do to be able to step into leadership. Okay. Now, what we do is we show people something called the 7-figure formula. So we show them how they can actually create a funding mechanism for their business, to create a marketing and advertising budget so that they can have their event tickets paid for, their airfare paid for, anything that has to do with their branding, their outsourcing, their tech stuff, their graphic design, their video editing. All that stuff costs money, okay? And most people don't have a budget to be able to do that. So they end up spinning their wheels in their business, and not getting any traction because they never actually learned the skills to begin with before they picked the company that they decided to go with, okay? And it's called the 1K per day Facebook formula. And once you learn that, those skills transfer over into whatever network marketing company that you're with, whatever affiliate marketing company that you're working on, whatever direct sales company that you're with. And then all of a sudden you rise to the top and you're in the top 10 on your leaderboard. Okay. And that's really what most people's desire is to get into the top 10. Okay. And that's called the 1K per day Facebook formula. Now, right now, I'm doing this thing because I want to be able to get people the real skills that they need. Okay. Now on this Sunday, I'm going to be doing a 3-hour Super Sunday event. That's where you literally look over my shoulder and I take you through all of these concepts so that you can really understand how do you get a business into explosive team duplication coming right out of the gate, okay, right out of the gate, so that you can have this type of thing where your business goes like that and it just takes off like a rocket launcher. And it doesn't take a long time to get a business into momentum, truth be known. So in the event that you have the skills, the foundational skills between 30 and 90 days, you can literally walk away from your full-time job, especially if you have a funding mechanism on the front end that's fueling the process as you're going, as you're learning the skills, okay? So this Sunday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing a Super Sunday. Now, this event, guys, is a $3,000 bonus that I give people in the event that they say, Darren, I want to take action and I want to learn the skills properly so that I can springboard my business and go to the next level. Okay. Now, if that's you and you're struggling right now, you have a dream, you have a vision, and you understand that the explosive difference between residual income and linear income, and you really want to go next level, reach out to me. And in the event that you take action prior to Saturday night at midnight, okay, Saturday night at midnight, and you say, Darren, I want to pull the trigger. I want to learn the formula, exactly what to do so I can get into the top 10 of the leaderboards with my company. Sunday, 12 noon, I'm doing this event. Now, the people that do take action are also going to get a copy of The Abundance Factor, okay? This is a great, great book. If you're not familiar with Joe Vitale, he's phenomenal in the industry. Really, when it comes to manifestation, abundance, and really taking your life to the next level. It's got a number of different authors. There's a whole slew of authors in this particular book, but this is going to also be a bonus, right? In the event that you say, I'm finally ready to pull the trigger and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and I want to finally be able to master the skills, okay? So bonus number 1, Sunday, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, there's a $3,000 bonus, okay? And this is real. You're going to actually be able to be live and interactive with me during those 3 hours as you're looking over my shoulder, and I'm going to explain these concepts so that you can really understand how this business model works, okay? And bonus number 2 is that you're going to get a copy of The Abundance Factor, okay? Now, in the event that you want to take action, reach back out to me, say, Darren, I'm ready to go to the next level. I want to learn the 7-figure formula, and we'll get you booked into the event. So let's just do a real quick recap here. Who do we got? Okay, so Eugene from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Great info, Darren. Appreciate that. I have a question. So Black Ops is not millionaire mentoring. Is there another different millionaire mentoring? We'll actually be talking about that, Fernando, when we roll out Black Ops Live. That's our next rollout, is Black Ops Live. That will be daily Millionaire Mentoring Monday through Friday. That has not yet rolled out, just so that you know. Okay, Fernando says huge value. I appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. And John Winkleman says Super Sunday. Yeah, so what you want to do, guys, if you want to, A, learn the 1K per day Facebook formula, B, learn how to actually fund your business to take it to the next level, and learn how to actually become a top recruiter. I teach people how to recruit new reps into any business in 6 to 45 minutes. I teach you the strategy for closing and upselling. I teach you how to master your emotional state, how to get explosive team duplication, and what are the action steps that you need to do to be able to step into leadership. Now, just to give you an idea, when I'm talking about explosive team duplication, Ari and I did one campaign that we rolled out for one particular company using these strategies. And in a 30-day period of time, we built a team of over 6,000 people all around the world. And that's how you get that compression point where it just goes pew, and it goes onto a global level. So in the event that you want to take action, reach out to me, guys. Sunday is the day. Saturday night is the cutoff. 12 midnight Pacific Standard Time. This is going to be exciting. I'm telling you, they're always jammed, and we have a great, great time to get you to understand exactly what you need to do step by step to take your business into the vertical zone. So thanks a lot for joining me on this private broadcast today. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. If you got some value here, throw down a comment. Tell me what your takeaway was today on today's broadcast. I look forward to seeing you on the broadcast on Sunday, and it's going to be live and interactive, guys. And you're going to learn the formula on how to make 1K per day. We have people right now making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a single day using this formula. So reach out, super excited, and let's go get it. Have a good one. All the best.